Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? So today we're going to be talking about the servant leader, and I've titled this one "Because I Said So." The servant leader. So we're going to be talking about how to be a leader, okay? And these are the things. This isn't gonna. I'm not gonna tell you like these are the things you need to do to become a leader or a better leader, but these are the things we need to look at to get to that point. So the first thing we got to be able to do as a leader is understand opportunity. So Mr. Thomas Edison said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." And Landers kind of reiterates that and says, "Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, so most people don't recognize them." Me personally, I use this a variation of this, which is funny because I used to say this and then I realized there was already quotes created about it. But my line goes, um, a lot of sometimes people miss opportunity because it is disguised as hard work. Um, and really what that means is that specifically when it comes to learning, when it comes to someone trying to better themselves, trying to build something, there's always going to be negative people telling you it's not going to work, it's not going to go your way. They're going to say things like, "What are you getting paid to do this? Why are you doing this?" But what they're not understanding is that this is opportunity. Okay, it could be an internship, it could be volunteering, it could be building your business, your MLM business, your self-employed business, and these things take time to build. And with that time, that learning time, is opportunity. And a lot of people don't see that because a lot of them want instant gratification. If they're going to do something, they want to get paid for it. But there's no value in what they're doing yet. I mean, it's not like you leave high school and you become a doctor. You leave high school, you go and you're an undergrad. You go to medical school. You do your internship. Then you become a doctor, and it's a long process to become a doctor. The same thing with if you're an architect. You don't just leave high school and you're an architect the next week. It takes you time to build up to it. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, whatever it is for people. That learning time, that is opportunity. Sometimes it's paid. Sometimes the opportunity is paid. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not. Sometimes it is. Sometimes not paid very well, and sometimes not at all. This includes volunteering. If you volunteer somewhere, all you're doing is creating opportunity for yourself because you are learning, you're getting in contact with people, and if you do things well, and if you're positive and you do a good job with your volunteering, all you're doing is creating opportunities for the future. But that time, that learning time, that's what opportunity is. You know, just because you're not getting paid doesn't mean you're not doing something worth some type of value. Um, Second thing, good and bad. Now, this kind of goes along with the whole opportunity thing because, like, if you volunteer, especially if you volunteer, I people are gonna say, well, why are you wasting your time? And that's a negative thing. Like, to them, that's a bad thing that you're volunteering. But to you, the other organizations you volunteer for, and the people who benefit from those organizations, they'll tell you it's a good thing. Okay, good and bad are relevant to our beliefs, and that's I'm not gonna argue that. If you have a moral dilemma with something of what good and bad is, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you that's wrong or right. Um, we usually associate good with things that we like or give us satisfaction. Bad is usually associated with things that hurt us or give us negative feelings. For example, peanut butter is good unless you have a peanut allergy, correct? So good and bad are have to do with perspective, and for the most part, good and bad, and this is my belief, is situational. You lost your job, that's bad. Hey, that gave you the opportunity to do what you really want to do in your life 2, 3, 4 years down the road. You're very, very happy with life, and you're not stuck in that dead end job you had 4 or 5 years ago. Okay, well, losing your job now was a good thing. So it's situational. If something bad, quote unquote, bad happens, it's bad at the moment. So that's situational, and it's also perspective. Because if you feel it's bad, then it's a bad thing. Once you overcome it, once you move forward, once that situation has passed, it may not seem like a bad thing. Then that gave you the opportunity to move to the next point, and that's good. Okay. Now, exceptions are important because exceptions are what's going to help you get beyond those roadblocks in your life. Okay, um, always without exceptions. There is an exception. That's one of my sayings. I say that often for people that feel like I don't know what to do next. I don't have the ability to do that next. No, no, you do. Be the exception. Okay, overcoming objections is how you become the exception. When there isn't room for any, never take no for an answer. If you're trying to build something, develop yourself, build a business, create a team, whatever it is, you have to be willing, okay, to be the exception. You have to go the extra mile to say, I will do this, I can do this. And there's so many people that have been exception in life. You know, we said we never, back in before we could go to the moon, people said we're never going to space. That's crazy. Well, guess what? Somebody did it. A group of people did it. A group of people got us to the moon, and now we got rovers in Mars. We got satellites. We got all types of stuff outside of our Earth. But before that, someone said this can't be done. You know, be that exception in your life. When somebody tells you people don't do this, if you live in a low poverty area, and people say, well, this is just how we live, and you want to get beyond that, it takes some serious learning. You got to definitely learn, okay, and you have to look for your opportunities to get out of there if that's not where you want to be. The problem now, problems. When we look at problems, we really got to identify them a little bit differently. Okay, as Mr. or Captain Jack Sparrow says, the problem is not the problem. Okay, and what I say is that it's the byproduct of the problem. A lot of times, what we see is not what the problem is. That's just the byproduct of the problem. Identifying problems is not easy. We will blame individuals. We will blame the outcome, but we don't look at what's causing the problem. And I'll give you a great example. If you have kids, if you have multiple kids, you know that sometimes they fight. Maybe sometimes one could hit the other one. Sometimes they do it on purpose. Sometimes they don't. But we can't look at the child and say, "Don't hit your brother and sister," because realistically, that's not going to do anything. And then hitting their brother or sister is the byproduct of whatever it is they are feeling. So maybe they're frustrated with something. Maybe they're just bored. Maybe it's something that it's just caused them to wanna, unfortunately, hurt somebody because that is the only way they know how to deal with these things. So the problem isn't that they hit their brother and sister. Like that was the byproduct. That's the outcome of whatever it is they're feeling. So as a parent, we need to talk to that child, understand how they're feeling, so we can better understand why they did what they did. Okay. Now this kind of ties in with that. I'm going to use that scenario again. The expectation. Okay. You have to inspect to expect. This is something I heard of. 2003 is when I had already been doing this for a while, but I didn't realize I didn't have a little catchphrase for it or whatever until somebody started talking to me about it, about how to set your expectations. And I thought to myself, hey, I've been doing that for a while now. And these are the things, okay? Being informed and proactive will help deliver a desired result. Okay, so back to that scenario with that kid that hit their brother or sister. Um, if we were there, if we were watching them, if we were involved with the kids while they were playing, let's say they were playing before they hit their brother or sister, we could have maybe done something about it, or we could have seen that the child was getting upset, or doing things that were going to hurt their brother and sister. Okay, now you cannot be upset if you were not involved. That's something that I truly believe. Like, let's say you, again, same scenario, you told the kids go play, and then one of them comes crying to you, so and so hit me. Well, did we take that time with those children before they started playing, check the mood? Okay, and that kind of ties into this last one. You cannot have an expectation if you didn't expect the situation. The situation. Again, back to this scenario. What if before they started playing, we went with the kids and said, "How are you feeling today? Everything," and they tell you everything's good. You ask them the questions. Do you feel upset? Are you bored? Are you sad? Whatever it takes to kind of understand where the mindset of these kids are. That way, if somebody does get hit, it's hopefully only an accident and not out of frustration and not out of someone's mental state or moodiness. Okay, but once we inspect this situation, we can have an expectation. We can expect them to not hurt each other, especially not to hurt each other out of moodiness. And this kind of goes along with, as a leader, and as a parent, because parents are leaders. They lead our children and to become who they're going to be as adults. As a leader in a company, as a manager, as a supervisor, the same kind of happens with people, with employees. Okay, and what I tell people is, managers or supervisors that work for me, when they have their own teams, I've told them, when you have a problem with an employee, because there's always issues with employees um, at some point. What I tell them is, a bad employee doesn't know he's a bad employee until you tell them. Most employees believe they do more work than anybody else. Most employees believe they need to get paid more. Most employees believe that they can do your job better than you. Now, some of that might be true, but if you're doing the things you have to, you can assess these situations and help these people grow. And that's really what it's about. For people that have this type of mindset, you want to help them grow and develop as well, while you yourself grow and develop. Okay? Decisions. Now, this is kind of going to tie in with that. And this is very, very important. And every decision, somebody has to lose. Every conversation is a transaction and a negotiation. So every decision you make is a sum zero transaction. That means somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Okay? Are you buying what the other person is selling? So this is really important. As a leader, I believe it is up to us to lose. For example, if you want to take a vacation and your employee wants to take a vacation at around the same time, and they request for that time off, and you say, no, you can't go because I have to go on vacation. Well, here's the thing. You signed up to be a leader. You signed up to be a manager, a supervisor, whatever it is. You got to be willing to take the short end of the stick on that one and say, you go on vacation, you have a great time. I'll go at a different point. They're going to respect you, maybe not, but I can tell you that if you take your vacation over them, they're definitely not going to respect you. Okay, they might not even care or notice that you delayed your vacation for them, and that's okay. As leaders, that's our job to step in and say, I will take this loss, and I will be okay with it. Okay. So that's very important when dealing with your group, when you're a supervisor and manager in some type of leadership. You want to make that difference, okay? And you got to be willing to take those losses and be okay with them, because they will happen. But there's this thing called positivity. Now, unfortunately, not everybody's positive, and sometimes it takes some learning, okay? So positivity, and I'll talk about each one of these points. Here's what you can do to get positive and stay positive. Read leadership books. If you don't have time to read them, read leadership articles. Listen to motivational speeches. Jump on YouTube, type in motivational speech. Watch some TED Talks. If you want to sit down and watch TV, if you have, an Apple TV or a smart TV or a Roku or whatever it is, jump on YouTube and type in TED Talks. Sit down on your couch, enjoy a libation, enjoy a meal, but watch something that's going to help you grow and help you be a better leader and help you be positive and stay positive. Okay. Once we're doing these three things, where we're continually learning to be positive, it's going to help us with this next step. Hope for the best for those around you. Now, this happens when you and a coworker are up for promotion, and sometimes it's hard to be happy for that person that just got promoted, because you believe you deserve it more, because you work harder, because you know it better, because whatever it is. Now, here's the truth of that. If that is true, whatever you're saying is true, they won't last, and they're either going to be out of here because they couldn't perform up to par, or they're going to be out of here because you didn't see things from their perspective, and they're going to outgrow the company and move on. And for everybody, my goal or my hopes is that as you're developing, if you're working in a company now, the hope is that you can develop and grow beyond that company and go either work for another company or start your own business where you are in charge of you, but your growth has gotten you there. Your self-development has gotten you there. Okay. Cheer on your neighbor. Don't be upset if they have a better car than you, a bigger house. Like, you don't know what it takes to be there. Maybe they're working longer hours than you and they have less time for their family. Sure, it's nice that they have, the latest and greatest whatever, but do they get to spend time with their family? Like, we don't know. Maybe you do know the answer to that, but be happy for whatever they have and cheer them on and help them if you can. Like, if your neighbor has no time to mow the lawn, be like, hey, I've noticed that, your lawn's kind of growing. It seems like you're always busy. I know work is hectic. Can I help you mow your lawn? Or whatever it is. Send your kid out there to mow the lawn, you know? Or offer your kid services if you have older children who want to make some money. Make yourself available. This is very, very important. Have open lines of communication with your team and respond to them. Personally, I use 7 different communication apps, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, Twitter, GroupMe, text messaging, email, and I have like 6 different email accounts that I reply through. Sometimes they get lost, I'll be honest. Sometimes I don't respond right away because they get lost in the hustle and bustle. But I try to make myself available through these different lines of communication. Okay? Now, as you do all this, you will learn that there is no such thing as roadblocks in life. There are only obstacles. If you're doing each one of these things as a leader, as a person, as someone who's trying to develop themselves, trying to get better, trying to grow, trying to get either a better job, start your own business, get a raise, get a promotion, if you're doing these things, okay, you're going to realize that there are no obstacles in life because situations are going to seem easier. You lost your job. Oh, wow, you'll get a better one tomorrow. You'll start your own business tomorrow. Somebody stole from you. Big whoop. You'll get it back. It's just stuff. It's just money. It's just whatever. Your entire team of business partners abandoned you. You'll find better ones. Like, these situations happen, and it's up to you and it's up to your perspective to think this is good or this is bad, or think I'm learning from this and I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna be better. Not because I am better, but because I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna develop and be a better person through my experiences. I'm going to make sure that when I get to this point, I don't do the same thing to someone else if it was a negative thing that happened to you. And the goal is to help develop yourself and develop others. As you develop others, you yourself will grow. And the more people you develop, the more you'll be able to grow yourself and develop yourself. And maybe you'll be writing books about your self-development or leadership, or maybe you'll be making online presentations about it, but it does take time. Now, finally, ice cream. I know we're all excited for the ice cream. No, I'm not going to give everybody ice cream. But here's a quote that I love, that I agree with and disagree with, and I'll talk to you about that right now. Mr. Steve Jobs said, if you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Go sell ice cream. Now, everybody loves ice cream. Now, I agree with this in the sense that you're not going to make everybody happy. Okay? However, as a leader, we have the ability and the authority to try and make everybody happy. Again, if we continually lose to help develop others, we will get the short end of the stick, but we'll make more people happy. As we make them happy, they're going to be more open and more coachable, and they'll be more willing to listen to you, and then you can help develop them better. Then you can help them grow. Then you can help them move on to the next step of their life, whether it's getting a better job or them starting their own business. But we want to be there as leaders to help people grow. Okay? So you can sell ice cream if you want to make people happy, or you can be accessible, you can be coachable, you can be positive, you can understand, you can have better expectations, you can understand problems better, you can seek or understand opportunity better, and these will help you become a better leader, and you will be able to make more people happy. Me personally, I believe my reason for existing is to make people happy. Like, that's what makes me wake up in the morning. I want to make somebody happy today, whatever that takes. How can I be of service? And this is where we come to the servant leader. The servant leader is going to be the biggest servant in the group. The servant leader is going to say, I will do this for you. The servant leader is going to grow with you and is going to say, we can do this. So the servant leader is about us. It's about team. It's about development. It's about growth, and it's about being the manager, or supervisor, or whatever that is, being at the top of the pyramid, okay, but willing to carry from the bottom and carrying from the bottom when needed. So that's how you become a leader or a better leader. Any questions? Again, you can reach me on Instagram at omf.development or omf.development@gmail.com. Email me directly, drop some comments, ask me some questions. Like my other video, such as my other video, I will be doing a live session of this at some point. This is just for you to kind of hopefully grow from this. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you got something out of it. I do appreciate you staying through the whole thing. I try not to make these long, but I'm condensing a 2-3 day learning presentation into a few minutes. So I'm trying to be quick with it. I can literally break up each one of these and make a 5-minute video. But I'm trying to give you as much as possible in the least amount of time, so that you're not continually having to come here every day or every week or whatever and picking up more stuff. Now, I might do that later and dive deeper into each one of these items, but for now, I'm trying to just kind of keep it condensed. So if you folks have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Please follow me on my YouTube. Just look for OMF Development, because I am a new channel. I don't have a username yet. Same with my Facebook, OMF Development. You can search it up. You will see me. Follow, like. The more you help me grow, the easier it is for me to put this content out there, and to have that better identification. So please subscribe, thumbs up, follow, and I will see you all on the next one. Thank you.